It's the big game on the big screen here at CHI Memorial Stadium, home of the Chattanooga Red Wolves, as they host the young, and I emphasize young, North Carolina FC. And there it is right there. They've been working on it for a while, and the finished product is ready to go in all 2,000 square feet of its glory. Welcome, everyone who are here to watch this Sunday fixture in USL League One. My name is Mark Schoenster, and I'm excited to bring you the action between these two sides. It's also Father's Day, so shout out to all the fathers out there, including those at the game in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and we get a look at one right there, a dad and his family. Shout out to all dads all across the country and the world as we take a look at the standings and where these two teams sit in this league of this part of the season. First off, Chattanooga Red Wolves sitting at number 5. If they win this game, they could go all the way up to second place and hop the Greenville Triumph. Meanwhile, North Carolina FC still trying to find their first win this season and their first win as a League One club. But with that, though, let's take a look at what these two teams are focusing on here today. First, our player to watch brought to you by Body Armor. It's Juan Galindrez for the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Once we come out of break, you're going to notice he's not in the starting lineup, but that's just how the Chattanooga Red Wolves like it. A match made in heaven, Juan Galindrez, and coming off the bench. 2 game winners coming off the bench in games this season, including last weekend against FC Tucson in a wild, wild affair. But on the other end, there's electric playmakers for North Carolina FC, including JT Kamara. It's been highlighted a couple times this season, but on Wednesday, he was able to notch his first goal of his campaign with North Carolina FC on loan from Louisville. As we see here, he's got pace, he's electric, and he's also a great facilitator. As we'll take a look here, he's already got 2 assists this year, assisting Selmir Miscic on 2 different occasions. He's able to square the ball to him here, and he does it again in a later fixture. He's an electric player, he's fast on the ball, he can make something out of nothing, and that's someone that the Red Wolves are going to keep their eyes on. With that, though, we're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the starting lineups, opening kickoff, the first 45 minutes of action right here on this Sunday fixture between the Red Wolves and North Carolina FC on ESPN+.
In America, the future belongs to everyone, so we built the Ford F-150 for everyone with an available Pro Power onboard generator and best-in-class available payload. It's built for America.
If your tamer passions include climbing, hang gliding, and river surfing, some may call you a hair-on-fire risk taker. We'd say, nah. They might not realize you're also a nonconformist, craft curator, history buff, art-loving experience collector. But ask a Chattanoogan, we just call you one of us.
Welcome back to CHI Memorial Stadium, brought to you by CHI Memorial. It's the Chattanooga Red Wolves and North Carolina FC here today on this Sunday fixture for USL League One to close off a busy Week 11 season, as we also take a look at the scoreboard up and running and ready to go as we now take a peek at the starting lineup for the Chattanooga Red Wolves. It's pretty familiar to what they've been seeing all season, but someone worth highlighting, Ricky Ruiz had a goal and 2 assists last week, got himself on Team of the Week with his efforts. Outside of that, of course, up top, Josue España and Blake Frischnick both have had their contributions on the attacking end. Frischnick still trying to find his first goal as a Chattanooga Red Wolves. Maybe we'll try and challenge this back line that North Carolina FC have here today. But talking about North Carolina FC, it's a young batch of guys today. 4 academy players starting. Nicholas Holiday in particular in goal. This guy can't even drive a car yet, and he's going to be playing in a professional match. To point out those 4 academy players, Britton Fisher, number 25, Holiday, number 24, Parker O'Farrell, number 30, and Cole Frame on the right up in midfield, number 26. All 4 of them will be starting today. Just young guys who are just trying to get things going here. The average age of the starting Chattanooga lineup, or of North Carolina lineup, is 20 years and 6 months. And we are underway between these two sides. It's North Carolina FC and the Chattanooga Red Wolves at CHI Memorial Stadium. And it's worth pointing out that average age, 20 years and 6 months for North Carolina. There's not a single player starting for the Red Wolves that is that young. 21 years old at least for every member of the starting 11 for the home team. So really the difference between youth and a lot more experience for the Red Wolves. Our head official today, Joshua Belk, getting things going here. There's Josue España and Blake Frischnick both. Maybe we'll see the youth on that back line for North Carolina and maybe get a little hungry. Here's Carrera Garcia. He fires a shot quickly, and there is the first action for Nicholas Holiday, 15 years old, has to paw that one off the line. Maybe a little heavy on his step there to start, but he's now gotten himself acclimated. Welcome to League One. Jose Carrera Garcia maybe trying to test this keeper and make sure his reflexes are all tuned up for this affair. And we're going to get our first corner kick of the game, brought to you by your local Ford dealer. Quickly given to Ruiz. This one's off the training ground, tipped around a couple of times. Now it's Ortiz with the shot, and it goes off the crossbar. Nicholas Holiday didn't have to handle that one.
Number 44, Ray Ortiz.
But they're definitely getting him welcomed early and maybe trying to get him scared as things start off. Chattanooga, an aggressive team. And talking to Jimmy Obleda, he said that they wanted to put their foot on the gas pedal from the moment the game started, and we're seeing it here. And on the other end, Sebastian Moramora, the keeper for the Chattanooga Red Wolves. In comparison to Nicholas Holiday, this guy's a seasoned veteran, only 23 years old, but I mean, you do the math, 8 years apart. And if you're Nicholas Holiday, that's more than half of your life right there, the difference between the two of them, as Chattanooga are up again. Here's Cole Frame, one of the other academy players starting today. Trying to find him, but can't connect there. And talking to Jimmy Obleda, this Chattanooga team has had a bit of a flair for the dramatic as this season has started. Lots of close wins, including 2 late-game winners here at Chattanooga. And then, of course, Juan Galindra's last weekend against Tucson, finding the back of the net after allowing Tucson to come back into the game. And he said that you can focus on the fact that, yeah, you could improve on things, and there are things they can work on so far this season, but they've got the unteachable aspects out of a team. And he says that what the group stands for, they're building that unity, and that's much harder to acquire than any little tweak or fix that maybe they've found so far this season. So he's very happy. He says that they're fostering this mentality of respect and trust for each other on the pitch, and that any personal victory is a team victory. And in his own words, if one wins, we all win. And that the name on the front of the jersey means more than the name on the back. And his guys all understand that, and that's not something you can just tweak game after game. That's something that you either have or you don't. And so he's happy that his players are all on board on that one as we take a look at the visiting head coach, John Bradford. He's got his hands full today coaching a bunch of young faces who are just trying to get themselves acclimated to the USL League One pitch. And maybe not the most welcoming place to start here in Chattanooga. One of the tougher atmospheres that USL League One has to offer. And you think about these young guys. John Bradford said that, you know, for better or for worse, they don't know any better than to bring their energy and to give it their all. And he believes it's the youngest lineup to ever start in club history, and I think he'd be hard-pressed to find any across the league that is this young. A little bit of a sputtering touch from Parker O'Farrell. Chattanooga definitely trying to cause chaos and mayhem on the other half, but here's Cole Frame. Cole Frame is at the 18. He fires a shot, and he gets it into the bottom right corner. Cole Frame puts North Carolina FC up early.
North Carolina FC goal number 26.
They love getting on the score sheet rather quickly, and they've done it again here at CHI Memorial Stadium. So we take a look at that one again. Cole Frame makes a run, he connects, and he's just snuck behind the back line, and there's nothing Sebastian Moramora could do about that one. A clinical finish from the Academy product. Cole Frame, just 18 years old from Wake Forest, North Carolina, and he can be happy to celebrate there. And North Carolina FC have once again scored in the first 15 minutes of the game this year. Just love getting on the score sheet early. And it's the complete opposite of what the Red Wolves were looking to do in this one. Now, how can the Red Wolves respond? North Carolina did this just on Wednesday against Greenville. It was JT Kamara's first goal. Talk about a way to build confidence in your young guys. Espana gives it to Ortiz. Ortiz takes it to the 18. He's going to keep going with it. Tries to center inside, and it's cleared away by Malik Mbai, one of the more experienced defensemen and players in the starting 11 for North Carolina. See that, North Carolina, no one in the league likes to score early more than they do. I guess for them, it's about the rest of the match that they got to keep working on, but I think in this case, it's even more important, a bigger deal that they score early, given just how green these guys are. As now here's Chattanooga looking for a response. Ray Ortiz gives it a shot himself. Holiday is able to get his paws on it, and he'll fall down. The 15-year-old keeper, 5'11", is able to snuff that opportunity out. Ray Ortiz just splitting through the middle, looking to whiz past Britton Fisher. So we take a look at Nicholas Holiday, coming from Chapel Hill. He's also the youngest North Carolina FC Academy player to sign an Academy project or contract in the program's history. He's just a special kid, and talk about a special occasion for him as this gets knocked out by the other keeper, Moramora. Some gamesmanship there from Daniel Navarro running away with the ball. There's Malik and Bai. One of the older players for North Carolina FC, like I mentioned. 24 years old, though, so that gives you... This one forward for Thorne Simpson. Simpson trying to get it off of Ramos, but the center back's able to shake him off. Mora faces some pressure from Kamara, has to hoof it away. He finds Ray Ortiz, the newest addition to Chattanooga this season. He's come in and become a key piece to this side immediately. Ortiz switches it over to Espana. He's got loads of space. It's him and Parker O'Farrell. Espana weaves around, cuts to the top of the 18, tries to pass it inside, looking for Ricky Ruiz, but instead finds Malik and Bai, the center back. And now we're going to get a foul here drawn by JT Kamara.
Possession brought to you tonight by Coca-Cola. Quench your thirst with a Coca-Cola.
Chattanooga fans, get the all-new 2021 kits and check out the new product lines at ChattanoogaRedWolves.com. See Daniel Navarro, one of Chattanooga's center backs. And the oldest member of the back line for Chattanooga, sitting at 29 years old, which is older than any of the players on North Carolina FC. This one goes back to Holiday. Getting chased by Ruiz, he'll have to clear it out. You always wonder about when keepers get pressed, which ones have the composure to not flub something up, and I think that that can be exacerbated when he's 15 years old, as this one gets poked out and nicely collected to prevent a corner kick. I think that's Parker O'Farrell, the one on that one. This one will find its way all the way across the pitch. Well, maybe not the way you wanted to start it, opening up your Jumbotron, but still a beauty to look at. Like I mentioned earlier, 2,000 square feet in size and approximately 34 by 61, making it the largest screen in the city of Chattanooga and one of the largest digital scoreboards in the state of Tennessee. Just absolutely a marvel to witness, and what a great addition to these stadiums here in League One, especially here in Chattanooga, where it feels like anytime ESPN Plus comes back to watch a game here, there's something new at this stadium to offer. Here's Ray Ortiz. Can't get past Max Flick, but he will get the better of him and draw the foul. And we're going to get our first booking of the match. Max Flick getting his first yellow card of the season. The oldest player in the starting 11 for North Carolina FC, 26 years old. The left back for North Carolina as we take a look at this one again. And just getting a little late there. Ortiz getting the best of them with his quick feet.
The referee has presented the yellow card.
Max Flick's going to have to be careful about that. Only 12 minutes into this game. Will now have to play with that yellow card over his head for the rest of this affair.
We fix foul vision.
We've got Jose Carrera Garcia and Ricky Ruiz standing over this one. It'll be Carrera Garcia inside, headed away by Britton Fisher. The tall center back, 6'4", definitely pokes out on the set pieces, and I'm sure that's a situation John Bradford definitely favors his contributions. This one sent over to the right side. Couple of moves from Ricky Ruiz. That's a cheeky little ball, and it has to be handed away. Be another corner kick brought to you by our local Ford dealer. It's a nice little ball there. A little inventive, took some flexibility.
Let's hear your Red Wolves fans. This Ford corner kick brought to you by your local Ford dealer.
Once again, this corner kick brought to you by your local Ford dealer, as Chattanooga trying to find a response. Have pretty much controlled the run of play here, but a goal on the counterattack by North Carolina, an opportune strike, has put them ahead. The ball has a lot of air underneath it. Red Wolves will collect this one. Fer Garcia able to get up and chest that one down. Headed around a couple of times, looking for Frischnick, and a foot went to the face of Malik Mbai. It's a dangerous situation, and he went down immediately. Frischnick trying to maybe try a pseudo bicycle kick, a volley to test the keeper, and Malik Mbai was right there for it on the collision. That's just not good for the center back, but he's able to get back up on his feet, which is always a good sign. It'd be a bit of a shocker, a cleat to the face.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee has presented the yellow card.
Kind of been lifted as the leader of the back line, according to John Bradford, and we're to hear our PA announcer, Blake Frischnick, getting a yellow card, his first of the year, for that reckless attempt at a shot. Blake Frischnick, 26 years old, has 1 assist. He got it last weekend against FC Tucson. One of the many players that Obleda is trying to get clicking at that number 9 spot. Him alongside Galindres and others. Just trying to find that clinical finisher on his roster. That pass just a little bit too high for Josh Cohen over on the left side. Well, this North Carolina FC team, they're holding on for now, and they're improving, according to John Bradford, when he compared the game against Greenville just on Wednesday in their first affair with the Triumph earlier in the season. He said that from where we were the first time around in comparison to the second go, I mean, you could see as time has gone on, they've gotten better, as Villalobos tees it in the middle, and it's deflected off of Nelson Martinez and into the hands of Holiday. And there he is again. He's been busy for this first 17 or so minutes. But so far, nothing has been too much on his plate. North Carolina, he was saying, John Bradford was talking about his team, and he said you could see as time's gone on, they're all getting more used to creating chances and finding their teammates, as Ruiz once again trying to create something, and he bounces that one off of Parker O'Farrell. It looks like we've got another corner kick here.
This corner kick
brought to you by your local Ford dealer, as Ricky Ruiz winds up. Chattanooga continually knocking on the door. Can they find a response here early? Just whizzed by the head of Jonathan Ricketts. Ortiz tries to send it back inside, but it's blocked on that one by Britton Fisher. Now Spagna, just a little bit too far ahead of Ortiz, who's been heavily involved to start this one. Now Cohen gives it to Cole Frame, who's on the other end of the pitch now. Will be knocked away, and it will be a Chattanooga throw. Also took a deflection there. As we take a look at Jimmy Obleda, who cannot be happy with the way this game started. Got his 10th win as the Red Wolves head coach last weekend against FC Tucson. Here's a chance for Chattanooga. It's Villalobos. One-on-one with Mbai. Villalobos fires a shot, and that one far from low enough to really scare the keeper, Jimmy Villalobos. Midfielder making a run here. Definitely an aggressive midfielder at that. Has a goal and an assist this season. So definitely capable of getting involved in the attack. foul here drawn by Nelson Martinez, the holding midfielder for North Carolina. Typically starts on the back line, but having more of a defensive midfielder role here today. He's slow to get up. A 20-year-old defender from Woodbridge, Virginia. And he's helped up by his compatriot Malik Mbai. Take a look at this one again. Villalobos just coming in and chopping at his shins. That's why you wear shin guards. Ramos lob this over to the left side. Here's Josue Espana. One-on-one with the Farrell. He's able to whiz by him at the top of the 18. Espana's shot gets knocked off of his own teammate. Blake Frischnick just in the way. But Chattanooga once again recovers possession, and they will continue to push and push against North Carolina's back line. As this game continues to pan out. Talking to Jimmy Obleda, mentioned how this team just has the intangibles when it comes to winning close games. As this cross goes off of O'Farrell, we're going to get our 4th corner kick of the day. All of them Chattanooga. Let's take a look at our keys to the game here. First off, for North Carolina FC, build confidence, which I would say that a goal early does that. And for the Chattanooga Red Wolves, they said that, or Jimmy Obleda said that they play 90 minutes and they get going from the whistle. They don't let the game come to them. They want to knock North Carolina off their rhythm. And although they've been able to continue to press on, I'm not sure if the scoreboard is exactly where they would like it. This corner kick brought to you by your local Ford dealer, as it's deflected off of 2 heads and poked away by Max Flick. We're going to get corner kick number 5. Of course, those keys to the game brought to you by ASA Engineering and Consulting.
Corner kick sponsored by your local Ford dealer.
And yeah, here we go again. 5th corner kick of the day, brought to you by your local Ford dealer. Ricky Ruiz. Two assists last week. Swings in again, headed away by Mbai. Kamara lets it bounce off of him. Here we go again. Here's Espana. Espana tempted to shoot it. He's going to cross it to a player who was offside and knew it and wasn't even going to bother playing it. So we've got a goal kick.
All digital displays in the stadium this evening, provided by Plainview.
Talking to Jimmy Obleda, though, about this team,
digital display needs, Plainview.
He said that the Red Wolves this year, this entire group is just a different group of guys. As this one gets back into play, he says that this group of Red Wolves just love dancing, enjoying each other, blasting music. He said that they're really enjoying each other, and even in practice, after they take a chewing, maybe it wasn't a good day on the training ground, they'll still go into the locker room and go back to their merry ways. The music will be thumping, and it's not a matter of them not caring. They understand their responsibilities, but also know that sometimes it's just part of the job to get chewed out, and they're not going to they're not going to take it too personally, and they're still going to bond together and enjoy each other's company. And you can't really manufacture that as a coach. Either your guys all click or they don't. And Obleda has consistently professed how lucky he is that his guys are so for each other. This Cole Frame giving it back to Parker O'Farrell. 2 Academy products going back and forth. I think North Carolina did what they really needed to do to get this game going early, because John Bradford was aware of just how intense a team and an environment Chattanooga provides. fans match the intense play style that Chattanooga brings to the table, and he said that every game they've been in has had some chaos, and the fact that North Carolina was able to maybe quiet the fans down a little bit to get things started, it do wonders for someone who's just trying to get themselves used to playing against professionals. Here's Josh Cohen. He gets knocked down by Ramos. Ref says it's all clean. Got some passing right along the touchline. Now here's Frischnick on a bit of a run. Frischnick, 6'3" on 6'4" Britton Fisher. He's able to get past him. Blake Frischnick into the 18. Frischnick still. He fires a shot, pawed away by Nicholas Holliday. Tried to pull a fast one, going low and quick against the momentum of his run. Look at him just doing some weaving and ducking here, and that was a good placement of a shot. A sneaky little attempt, but Nicholas Holliday was up for it. And now it's corner kick number 6, brought to you by your local Ford dealer. Ricky Ruiz once again on it. Home fans got to think it's got to give eventually. Ruiz teed in, and it goes just by. Jose Carrera Garcia right there. Chattanooga fans, the Coca-Cola is the exclusive soft drink of the Chattanooga Red Wolves, as we get our 7th corner here, brought to you by our local Ford dealer, Jose Carrera Garcia. As we look at the feed on the Jumbotron here, as we pan in, a little back heel from Frischnick. Garcia gets cleared away from the top of the 18. 7 corner kicks, nothing to come of it up to this point. Jonathan Esparza will be the one to throw it in. Here's Ortiz. Swings it in, a little too high for Frischnick. The follow-up is saved by Holliday. And this kid hasn't wavered up to this point in the game. And he's been challenged over and over up to this point. Chattanooga on the prowl once again. Jimmy Villalobos. Passing around, trying to find space. North Carolina properly set on the defensive side of things. There's Ricketts. Goes back to him. There's some space. But a poor touch there by Josue Espana. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues, as this one gets headed over the bar by Frischnick. Blake Frischnick able to connect once again, but can't get the ball down. We'll take a look at that one again. Nice cross from Espana, and Frischnick just a little bit too high. It's knocked down by and by there. It'll end up being a goal kick. The latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportamerica.com for all of their products. This one gets reset here. Non-stop action here for the first 29 minutes here at CHI Memorial Stadium. Not a lot of the action happening on this half of the pitch, and yet the score sheet is 1-0 in favor of North Carolina. And I mean, that graphic right there pretty much tells the story if you haven't been watching. But here come the Red Wolves again. Josue España, familiar place, and this time it's saved once again by Holiday. The sliding effort from Frischnick, not enough danger for the 15-year-old to handle. Take a look at this here. Not a bad ball from España, but Frischnick is just not able to get there in time to really put some weight behind his touch. Just has to do everything he can to get behind it as we get our 8th corner kick brought to you by your local Ford dealer. Comes inside. Here's España heading it over to his left for Ricketts. Jonathan Ricketts' cross sails in. It's a little bit too high, but it can get played back in and cleared out by Britton Fisher. It's a high arcing ball over to the right side. Ricky Ruiz, one-on-one with Cohen, and they'll win corner kick number 8. Maybe they'll say it's coming off of Ruiz here. And we're going to get a hydration break here. It's 89 degrees in Chattanooga right now, and it feels like 95, so a humid day over in Tennessee as both teams get a chance to get some water in them and refresh. So 30 minutes in, and it's been almost an entirely Red Wolves affair, but on a counterattack, North Carolina FC have been able to get themselves on top as we see Jimmy Obleda here getting into his instructions to his players. He's got to think he can find the goal here, but let's take a look at what has been stopping them so far. Nicholas Holiday, 15 years old, has been able to get the job done so far. 1/3 of the match is over, and he has been able to handle everything thrown at him up to this point. That one just a hair off the mark for Chattanooga. As we see Nicholas Holiday not afraid to lay it out, get his palms on it. And his reactions have been very good up to this point. A couple of players maybe thinking they can get the best of the young gun, but all of their tricks and their shots and their tests have come up for naught up to this point. Nicholas Holiday has really done the job here. Talking to John Bradford about the kid, he said that he was with us last year in 2020 with North Carolina FC training until protocols kept him from doing so due to the pandemic. But he was just 14 years old training with the USL Championship side North Carolina FC. And he's had a lot of experience, though. I mean, not outside of just being in that pro environment. He's a normal starter for the U17 team, and he makes appearances from teams all the way from U18 to their USL2 side. So it's not for a lack of game time for Nicholas Holiday. And he even split time with Jake McGuire in the preseason for North Carolina FC before things got kicked off here in the 3rd year of USL League One action. And he said he's capable, looks the part, he's physically mature, and he thinks that's going to be a great experience for him, John Bradford, that is. And I mean, up to this point, can't imagine not feeling good about yourself if you're Nicholas Holiday. He has done his part, and they have had to ask quite a bit of him thus far. And he'll put this one back into play. This one will go over to España. That's too far off the mark. It'll be North Carolina ball. I'm talking to Jimmy Obleda about North Carolina FC. One person he pointed out in particular was JT Kamara. He said that Kamara's great on the ball, very direct, and he mentioned that Chattanooga needs to know where he is at all times. There's Thorne Simpson, the number 9 for North Carolina today. One of the later additions to the team this season. Here's Nelson Martinez sending it forward for Kamara. Tries to lead Thorne Simpson on there. Actually was looking for Cole Frame wide right. Chattanooga continues to push this one forward. Ricky Ruiz gives it over the left to Espana. Espana with a light little touch, but even that light touch was too much, too far ahead for Ricky Ruiz. 35 minutes into this game, North Carolina with the early goal. They did it on Wednesday against Greenville, and talking to John Bradford about the Greenville game, he said it was nice to get an early goal again. He mentioned that the red card and other aspects made the game a little strange, which prompted Bradford to watch it immediately on the bus afterwards. They started their youngest team yet in that game, only to get topped here today. He mentioned he was pleased with the first half, but that they missed too many genuine chances that they were hitting in practice that they just weren't finishing in game. I would say at this point, they've had one genuine chance and they've hit on it. It's definitely not the same looking game as it was at Legacy Early College back on Wednesday. Villalobos gives it out wide to Espana. Josue Espana, one-on-one with O'Farrell. Gives it back to Carrera Garcia. Here's Frischnick, and his shot's deflected off of Britton Fisher. Well done by the center back to handle that one. And Frischnick, he's hungry in this one. He's been trying, and he's been getting the ball a lot. He really wants it here. Corner kick number 8 for Chattanooga in the first half, brought to you by your local Ford dealer. It's Jose Carrera Garcia. Makes his way over to the corner. It's actually corner kick number 9 for Chattanooga. This one veers in, headed off a couple players, and then it gets into the hands of Nicholas Holiday. Star of the show up to this point. He will punt it all the way over to Cole Frame. Maybe the other star, the goal scorer. No foul called there, handled by Ortiz. Now we're going to get a whistle from our official. It's going to be a free kick for Chattanooga. Decided he didn't want to play advantage. Our head official, Joshua Belk. Here's Espana. Taking it down the pitch once again. Leaves it forward for Villalobos, punched away by Holiday. And they continue to poke and prod at this North Carolina goal. But all for naught at this point.
Let's hear your Red Wolves fans.
Not a bad little pass and go there between Villalobos and Espana. And we have got another corner kick brought to you by our local Ford dealer. This is just an insane amount of goals here in the first half. Ruiz gives it back. The cross comes inside, headed around a couple of times. And that one will be booted out by Kamara. And it's being chased down by Cole Frame. He's got a ton of space. Cole Frame down the right side. Does he have anyone running with him? He's got some help. That's Luis Arriaga. Hasn't been too involved here today. Getting some touches on the ball here. Ten corner kicks to none. That's quite the number right there. And it's Blake Frischnick now coming forward. Frischnick trying to find Carrera Garcia, but just not connecting there between the two of them. I think he's thinking goal right now. Striker hungry to get something for himself. North Carolina holding on to possession once again. And you see the fans there along the lines on CHI Memorial Stadium. Mentioned earlier, they're celebrating Father's Day at CHI Memorial, and they're marking the occasion with the popular $2 beer night. So obviously, if you're there at the game, you're not watching this broadcast, but I'm sure everyone would agree with me in the recommendation that maybe spend $2 or $4 on your dad. As North Carolina takes this one forward. Here's Cohen. Well dealt with there by Jason Ramos. We've got a collision over on the sideline after the ball was gone. And we're going to get another booking here. Josh Cohen getting his second yellow card of the season, knocking Jason Ramos into the wall.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee has presented the yellow card to North Carolina FC's number 17.
Josh Cohen, 23-year-old forward, the one getting in the books.
Official yellow card brought to you by Kapperman, White, and McGarvey Eye Care. We pick.
We'll take a look at this one again. Yeah, just a late challenge coming in from behind. Just a reckless play there from the 23-year-old forward. Espana has been given a lot of space over here on this left side for this entire first half. He's going to keep going forward, and that'll be cleared out by and by. Malik Mbai has kept himself busy in this game. There's Josue Espana. Had a dangerous stretch for 2 games where he scored 3 goals just in 2 of them. Hasn't found himself on the score sheet since then. But starting up top here today, he's sometimes played over the left wing position where Ruiz and Ortiz are located at this point. He's definitely been threatening this North Carolina back line all day so far. Here's Ricketts, able to take a step. He's gonna go back to Ramos. He low balls this one inside, picked up by Espana. Here's Villalobos, back to Espana. Espana could swing this one in, but it runs into Malik Mbai. It's been a bit of a brick wall here today. Chattanooga want to try to find a fruit of their efforts here in this first half. All the stats point in their favor except for the most important one. Ricketts. His ball inside's hopeful, but there's no one around for it. As this game goes on, Chattanooga will look to find that goal. Able to score 3 of them last week against FC Tucson on the road. It's Espana, enters the 18 again. Josue Espana trying to get around O'Farrell. Tries to give it to the other end of the box, but can't do so. Now it's Ortiz. Ray Ortiz working on Josh Cohen. Earns himself a throw in here. Here's Navarro. Navarro gives it back to the center. Now Carrera Garcia lays it out wide. This one low balled in and cleared out by Mbai. Stop me if you've heard that one before here today. Just been a constant onslaught of Chattanooga pressure, but North Carolina hasn't given yet. And I tell you what, if this ends up being the final result here, that'll make this week 11, a week that's had 8 fixtures total, be quite the crazy week. We'll take a look at what some of the other results were from this weekend and talk about exactly what happened. There's been some weird results across League One, so we'll take a look at some of the highlights come halftime. So, and on top of that, not only has it been 8 games from Wednesday to now, which is a tied for League One record, but they happened in all different locations, 8 different cities hosted a League One match this week. As this one, not sure if that one was a shot or a ball sent in, but either way, it grazes wide left. Jason Ramos, not too unfamiliar with taking a shot from distance, got himself on the SportsCenter top 10 last season with a rifling shot against New England Revolution 2. That was well beyond the 18 when he scored that one, so maybe he was thinking goal there, the 22-year-old center back. One of the many Californians on this Chattanooga Red Wolves team. Cole Frame stepping on the ball there, wiping out. "45 minutes have transpired, and the Chattanooga attack has not been successful yet. Here's Frischnick. Unable to do anything with that one, and for once that ball is going to roll across the goal line, and it won't be a corner kick. It's a goal kick for Nicholas Holliday. Blake Frischnick has gotten involved in this one, but hasn't been able to find the back of the net just yet. JT Kamara going to draw a foul here for North Carolina, the visiting side. Just 45 minutes of just a barrage of attacks from Chattanooga. North Carolina will be going to the locker room, heaving a sigh of relief, at least for the first 45, and try to figure out how they can change things up in the second half. Meanwhile, Chattanooga are going to be wondering how are they going to score. Ramos getting a second go at that touch and clearing it. No one chased after him for it. North Carolina, can they muster up something here right at the end of the second half, or first half? Joshua Belk issuing some commands to Josue Espana after the whistle. Malik Mbai will take this one. That one's just a little bit too far for Thorne Simpson to track down. So we see 3 minutes of added time, so we've already gone through 2 of them.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official has indicated 3 minutes of stoppage time. 3 minutes of stoppage time.
It's another chance for Chattanooga, and it's knocked out of play for a throw-in. Barrett Garcia, we're going to get a whistle here. Navarro gives it over to the right side for Ramos. A potential playoff clash brings the 2021 schedule into summer as the USL on ESPN heats up on ESPN Deportes. With the tables taking shape, the Miami FC brings Birmingham Legion FC for a cross-divisional showdown in the Sunshine State. Catch the action live Wednesday, June 23rd at 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Deportes. Also, Chattanooga fans, Body Armor is the official sports drink of the Chattanooga Red Wolves. So we get a free kick here for Chattanooga.
At the end of one half of play, your score, North Carolina FC 1.
After some confusion here, it's actually the end of the half. As we take a look at All the players making their way off the pitch. Jimmy Obleda a little upset. Maybe they thought they would get a free kick there. But that's it. North Carolina FC, despite all the statistical categories going against their favor, have the 1-0 lead over the Chattanooga Red Wolves. And it's a lot to thank to that man right there, Nicholas Holiday, as we celebrate Father's Day here at CHI Memorial Stadium. We're going to go to break. When we come back, we have highlights from the weekend, stats, and more right here on ESPN+.
Good times, bad times, and everything in between. Your primary care doctor is with you all the way.
The day the world stopped was the day we... From now on, we're anything on our plates. Because we've learned to savor the moments that were always there, and they never tasted this good.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we built the Ford F-150 for everyone. With best-in-class available towing and payload and an available interior work surface. It's built for America.
Halftime is brought to you by Transcard. Welcome back, everyone. Transcard is the world leader in payments technology solutions for financial institutions, technology companies, and businesses. Well, folks, if you're tuning into this game on Sunday, maybe you already caught up on some of the action on Saturday, but it was an exciting, jam-packed day. 5 games total yesterday, starting with the 6:30 kick at City Stadium in Richmond, starting Union Omaha, sitting at the top of the table currently. Got a bit of a fortunate goal here, the cross from Ferretti Sosa. Maybe he was looking for Greg Hurst, but, you know, if it ain't broke, you don't worry about it. And Jalen Crisler then with his header in the second half drew things level to make it a 1-1 draw total off the chest of Toby Otieno. Gave each team a point apiece. Now let's look at take 2 of Toronto and Fort Lauderdale. They played each other on Wednesday. It was a 2-2 draw in Florida. And then here, picking right back up where they left off, 4 goals in that first matchup. Josh Penn was able to get on the board immediately in the second affair. Now, typically when Toronto concedes first, they haven't been able to bounce back this season, but they were able to find some goals here in this game to not only tie the game, but come back and take the lead for the first time this season. This effort from Toronto was also able to give them their first victory at Osceola Heritage Park, their second home away from home after being in Casa Grande in Arizona for the first portion of the season. Now let's go up north to Madison, Wisconsin, where Forward Madison looking to take on a New England Revolution team that have been conceding a lot of goals recently and were hungry for maybe to stop that 4 goals a pop stretch that they had been in the past 2 games. Now let's take a look at the young buck, or Noel Buck as it were, the 16-year-old getting his 3rd goal of the season. Just getting back on the scoreboard in the right kind of way for New England after going down early in their first 2 games. But, you know, you could say the MVP of the game was a New England player, but I think that most people watching would know the woodwork, both the crossbar and the left and right post, were on the side of the away team yesterday. As we take a look here at the nail in the coffin, Sekulius with just a screamer rocketing into the right netting, notching a clean sheet after 2 straight affairs of conceding 4 goals. New England Revolution 2 able to get a big win on the road. Now, if I were you, and if I felt the same way, Tormenta FC for quite a while got on a bit of a winning streak, and I thought, well, maybe they're just the benefactors of playing a beleaguered and exhausted Toronto side, but this right here is proof that they are back in it. No longer at the bottom of the table, well near the top. Tormenta FC coming in and taking on the reigning champs in Statesboro, Greenville, and as you see, Marius Lomas was able to get on the board, but it was not enough. 3-1 was the final score for Tormenta. And then you had the nightcap last night in Texas, FC Tucson against North Texas, and maybe not as many goals as the previous affairs we've seen here, as we see this penalty awarded. Kalen Fox just throwing an arm into the face of the striker, but although a penalty was given, Wallace Lapsley was not about to concede his clean sheet on the day. Not one, but two saves here. As you take a look at that again, definitely the play of the match. Had to get himself active. His hands were wired and ready to go in that occasion. But the other story of this match may not have just been Wallace Lapsley, but 3 red cards total. So it ended up being a 10 versus 9 affair between these two sides. It got a little ugly as the game went on. And when it came down to the end, although the red cards may have stolen the glory for a little bit, Wallace Lapsley came back and reminded everybody about who was the man of the match. And so a clean sheet for both sides, the third 0-0 draw of the season, the first one not involving the Richmond Kickers. And so with that in mind, though, that's been all the excitement that's been happening throughout the league this weekend. It was 7 games total in this week 11. Now let's go to a quick break. When we come back, we'll have news and notes for you on ESPN+.
In the box, chance for Williams, off the crossbar and in. Back to Samake, and there's Sparrow again.
JJ Williams leaves it for Lapa! Salazar cuts it inside, Van Oekel with an excellent save.
Gotta get it, gotta get it, get it.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we built the Ford F-150 for everyone with an available Pro Power onboard generator and best-in-class available payload. It's built for America.
Welcome back to Halftime, brought to you by Transcar. Let's take a look at what's happening around USL League One. As you know, Pride Month is continuing, and if you want any info on what the different teams across League One are doing, go to USLLeague1.com to figure out what each initiative is happening across each club in USL League One. Also, if you're watching this game, congratulations, you're watching a bit of a tied record for what it's worth. The 8th match of 8 in Week 11 here in USL League One, which is tied for the most in League One history. Now let's take a look at the Team of the Week, brought to you by Clear Audio. Just 2 players from the matchup today, featuring Jonathan Ricketts and Ricky Ruiz, both guys who scored goals last week against FC Tucson. Ricketts notching his first professional goal for the Red Wolves, and Ricky Ruiz, of course, being the ever-involved striker, both on the assists and the goal-scoring end. As we look at, in case you were able to get the highlights from earlier in halftime, here's a score update from yesterday's affairs. It's really starting to mix up in USL as we speak. Maybe when you were watching the first few weeks of the season, you thought maybe Greenville and a couple other teams would sit up top, but some teams are really stepping up and finding their groove as this season pans out. Now let's take a look at what's going to be happening on Wednesday. The Greenville Triumph going to try to get back on their right foot, and they're going to be up against Forward Madison, another team that just came off a bad loss at home against New England Revolution 2. So this will be an interesting affair between two teams that have high aspirations and are looking to try to make things right after getting into a little bit of a slump recently. Meanwhile, it's take 3 of 4 between Toronto FC2 as well as Tormenta FC. Tormenta really maybe the hottest team in the league right now, and Toronto FC2 have already had to suffer 2 1-0 losses to them as it stands. Also, North Carolina FC fans, your next match is happening on Friday at Wake Met Soccer Park against the Richmond Kickers, who are coming off a 1-1 draw. So those are some of your weekday fixtures as we now look at what's happening on Saturday. The Red Wolves, huge matchup against the Greenville Triumph coming on Saturday. If Red Wolves win today, they could be in second place, which would mean they hopped Greenville Triumph, but they could hop the Red Wolves on Wednesday should they get a victory over Forward Madison. So a lot of big games coming up this week. So the action is just continuing to go on in USL League One. It's an exciting mid-season action for the league. And so with that in mind, we'll go to a break. And when we come back, we'll have the first half highlights and stats as well as the second half on ESPN+.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we built the Ford F-150 for everyone with an available Pro Power onboard generator and best-in-class available payload. It's built for America.
The day the world stopped was the day we... From now on, we're everything on our plates because we've learned to savor the moments that were always there, and they never tasted this good.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we built the Ford F-150 for everyone with an available Pro Power onboard generator and best-in-class available payload. It's built for America.
If your tamer passions include climbing, hang gliding, and river surfing, some may call you a hair-on-fire risk taker. We'd say, nah. They might not realize you're also a nonconformist, craft curator, history buff, art-loving experience collector. But ask a Chattanoogan, we just call you one of us.
Let's take a look at the highlights brought to you by CHI Memorial. First off, although it's been a Chattanooga dominant affair, it was a pass from Luis Arriaga to Cole Frame, getting the finish done early to give North Carolina FC the unlikely away side to take the lead. So a wonderful start for them, and since then, Nicholas Holiday has been asked a lot of him. 7 saves total in the first half of action. And we'll get some of these clips here of how he's come to that number and that tally. Ray Ortiz, his shot, dived on by Nicholas Holiday. Just well done by him, and he's just been able to jump on absolutely everything up to this point. As we take a look at another moment, 25th minute, Blake Frischnick one-on-one with Britton Fisher. As he weaves forward, he gets one-on-one with the other big guy, is able to get the job done, fires a shot here, tries to sneak it past Holiday, but he is ready for it. As we now look at the stats brought to you by Coca-Cola, all of the numbers point to Chattanooga except for that top stat line, and that's the one that matters. 66% precision, 15 shots, 7 on target, but nothing has gotten past the 15-year-old as we get here for the second half of action.
And we begin the second 45.
Can North Carolina FC hold on to this 1-0 lead despite the barrage of Chattanooga attacks? We got 45 more minutes here. Should be some fun here at CHI Memorial Stadium. It's really exciting up to this point. Ray Ortiz goes down. Got hit in the shin there, it looked like, by Malik Mbai, the center back. And it'll be a Chattanooga free kick. It'll be interesting to see how the Red Wolves come out here in the second half of action. They pretty much did everything right, but the last and final product, the goal scoring aspect of things. Ruiz, he swings it in. It's headed out by Parker O'Farrell, who's had his hands full today. They have picked on him on the left hand of the pitch. Josue Espana has been given the ball repeatedly. Chattanooga trying to pick up right where they left off after 47 plus minutes in the first half. As the sun sets and glares onto the pitch before it finally dips behind the infrastructure here at CHI Memorial Stadium. Frischnick definitely brought that down with his arm, and so that'll be given to North Carolina FC. Heavily involved in the first half, Blake Frischnick. And there, played at Las Vegas Lights before coming to Chattanooga, so not new to the USL as a whole. Gets knocked around a little bit. Josh Cohen gives it to his left for Arriaga. Arriaga moving forward, gives it to Simpson, tries to body off of Navarro, but Navarro is able to win that battle. See there, number 12 for North Carolina FC, Peter Pearson, has made his way onto the pitch. This North Carolina young squad just trying to make things work here for another 45. They were young on Wednesday against Greenville, and talking to John Bradford, he said that although maybe some of these young players were happy to get their pro first, whether it be Britton Fisher's first start or JT Kamara's first goal, they weren't exactly content and pleased when they came away with a loss on Wednesday, 2-1 against Greenville. So you can take the positives, but the players are also focused on finding wins here. This one slipped through to Ruiz. Ruiz crosses it for Frischnick, and his header is wide right. I don't think he got the best of contact on that ball. Blake Frischnick continues to knock and is just trying to find that goal here. I tell you what, he has been heavily involved in this affair. And if anyone on this Red Wolves team wants a goal more badly than Blake Frischnick, I would be surprised with how the way this game has panned out thus far. As we see our substitution brought to you by D1. JT Kamara, our player to watch for North Carolina FC, has come off the pitch in favor of Peter Pearson. He's a little bit older, 25 years old. So we get a little bit of spillage here from Thorne Simpson colliding with Sebastian Mora. Take a look at Simpson, the number 9 here, 22 years old, from Kingston, Jamaica. He gets the ball again, and he'll give it to Arriaga. This ball's knocked out, but Max flicks on it. Here's Cohen. His cross is off the mark, and it'll be a goal kick for Chattanooga. Red Wolves hungry to score a goal here. They were able to score 3 last weekend against FC Tucson. And something about those goals that Jimmy Obleda was really happy about was that every single one of them had several unique touches from players in the build-up. It wasn't just a scrappy single-player effort or something that was quickly hoofed up on transition. It was well built up by the Red Wolves. Something they're going to need to find here today as they continue to try to build and find the back of the net. He also mentioned about that Tucson victory. Jimmy Obleda said that they saw the space between the midfielders and the defenders, and it was really nice to see their film and their game planning work as this one tries to get teed in for Frischnick, but it's cleared away by Malik and Bai. And we've got a yellow card here. Chattanooga fans, get all the new 2021 kits and check out the new product lines at ChattanoogaRedWolves.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, Red Wolves substitution. Entering the match, number 19.
And look who's coming into the game as JT Camaro, the man to watch for North Carolina, comes off. The man to watch for Chattanooga comes on. Juan Galindrez makes his way onto the pitch. So North Carolina, better hold your breath. You've got 40 minutes of a guy who's scored 2 game-winning goals coming off the pit, or coming off the bench. But here comes Cole Frame in North Carolina. Cole Frame, looking around, gets to flick over to Cohn for the shot, and Cohen's shot will face a deflection and get into the hands of Mower Mower. As we see Blake Frischnick, who so badly wanted to score in this one, will not find the back of the net. See if Juan Galindrez, who's now scored 2 game winners, will make it work. Meanwhile, also Marky Hernandez will come off the bench for Ray Ortiz and see if he can have his influence on the game. Another guy who's done really well off the bench this season for the Red Wolves. So Jimmy Obleda throwing out the stops here. This ball comes in, knocked away by Mbai, and cleared away by Pearson. This one gets knocked around. Talking about that bench that Chattanooga has. Definitely one of the more impressive ones in the league. Here's Galindrez. On Galindrez. Trying to get back past O'Farrell, and he'll get tripped up. Play has not stopped here. I thought that ball came off the line, but it's still in play. Crossed in, deflected around a couple times. This ball will not leave the 18. And it's still Chattanooga ball here. Now the mayhem will stop with a foul on Jose Carrera Garcia, much to the disdain of the fans right by it, pleading for 2 separate penalty calls, but they will not find it. So we take a look at that chaos that ensued, started by Juan Galindrez. I don't know there. Knocked over by Parker O'Farrell. And then at the end of that whole spell, Peter Pearson getting the old jersey tug from Jose Carrera Garcia. Our head official, Joshua Belk. Those are his decisions on the matter. It'll be a North Carolina free kick. So far, this game has picked up right where it left off. Chattanooga pressing forward, now with some new faces coming off the bench. Like I was saying earlier, this Chattanooga bench has got quite the well of talent to pull from each game, and Jimmy Obleda was definitely happy about where he's at as far as the bench is concerned. He said that your team is only as good as your weakest players, and when your bench consists of high IQ, seasoned players, or game changers like Juan Galindrez, you're in a good spot. And he mentioned that all those players are great too because putting them on the pitch gives them some flexibility tactically from the coaching perspective, and so he can throw a player in. So we get Jimmy Obleda talking to our head official here. The ever impassioned Jimmy Obleda. Always an animated guy talking to our head official here. He was saying that it's really nice to have players like that coming off the bench who give you that tactical versatility. And he said it's kind of fun to be able to pick guys off the bench and change up what you're doing in a match. Over to the left side. Here's Marky Hernandez, one of the substitutes. Hernandez trying to get past O'Farrell. He gets the cross off looking for Ruiz, and it's collided with Josue Espana. Both of them trying to get on the end of it. And now we're going to get our first corner of the second half. Once again, North Carolina hasn't had a cut of the pie in that regard. It'll be corner kick number 11 for the Chattanooga Red Wolves, brought to you by your local Ford dealer. This one's quickly put into play. Looking for a hopeful pass from Hernandez, looking for Galindrez, one sub to the other. The USL is committed to supporting the LGBTQ+ community through the Forever Proud project. The USL will strive to create safe and welcoming environments for all fans, players, employees, and partners. Learn more at uslsoccer.com/forwardforever-proud. Now 2 balls on the pitch here. Once the official notices, blows the whistle. Someone to just give that a little tap off the pitch. It'll be Ramos again putting into play. Ruiz sends it down the left side for Hernandez. Maybe a poor touch on it, but it gets over to Galindrez, and his volley goes over the crossbar. Met with some oohs and ahs from the fans in the stands. Ruiz once again trying to facilitate something here, and Hernandez with the cross. It's a nice little volley from Galindrez, but only could get under the ball, sending it forever upward. So that ball in, it's knocked off the line. Red Wolves pushing and pushing, looking for the icebreaker on their end of things. Meanwhile, they're at it. Put a nice little replay on their Jumbotron as Malik Mbai is on the ground. Malik Mbai, one of the busier players today, and he's done well. Coming from Senegal, Malik Mbai. That's the first step, being able to sit up. By. Walking off the pitch, he'll have to get himself back into play. This one headed around and goes over the top netting for a goal kick. On the road, can't watch the match? Turn on SiriusXM FC, North America's only 24/7 source of soccer radio, featuring Ray Hudson, Tony Meola, Rodney Marsh, and the brand new USL All Access, featuring Mike Watts and Devin Kerr, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Fans of the USL can now listen to the best matches of the week, along with action from MLS, the Premier League, and the UEFA Champions League. SiriusXM FC channel 157 on your SiriusXM radio and the SiriusXM app.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee has presented the yellow card for North Carolina FC.
And Nicholas Holiday is going to get in the books for time wasting there. The yellow card for the 15-year-old keeper. Now here's Frame coming down the right hand of the pitch. Here's North Carolina again, Arriaga with the shot, and that one's going to go over the frame. And we've got another player down for North Carolina. Joshua Belk, the head official over there, looking to assist him. It's Nelson Martinez. On the attacking end, head against the ground. And he's getting checked up on by the opposing keeper, Sebastian Moramora, and he's going to get helped up by him. Some sportsmanship there from the keeper. As we take a look at what happened here, it just gets clipped up and crashes harshly into the grass. He's doing all right. Here's Jose Carrera Garcia getting tripped up. No foul called by the official. Here's Navarro now. Navarro gives it to top to Villalobos. He arcs it in. Hernandez with the touch. Here's Carrera Garcia with the shot, and this one just skates wide. Hispania tees it back inside. Nobody's there for it, and that one's hoofed away by the back line for North Carolina. And Chattanooga continues to knock as Moramora comes well off his line of midfield to give a little nod to Ramos. And this one will bounce its way to Nicholas Holiday. You can hear the counting of the fans in the background after the time-wasting yellow card on Nicholas Holiday earlier. He'll take all the time he can. Here's Chattanooga again. Marquis Hernandez gives it to his left to Ruiz. Ruiz passes inside for Galindrez. Galindrez, it gets knocked out by Malik Mbai. And it'll be another Chattanooga corner kick. Let's take a look at that last play. Again, Hernandez. That one looks like it came off the arm of Malik Mbai, and you see Hernandez waves for it before it goes into the, goes across the goal. As we get another corner kick brought to you by your local Ford dealer. Marquis Hernandez be the one to potentially take it. Jose Carrera Garcia is also by, and he'll actually take the responsibility off of Hernandez's hands. At least for now. Swerves this one in, heads up a couple of times. Ricketts, the volley off the crossbar and cleared off by Simpson. Juan Galindrez tried to get another goal on his resume, but this time denied by the woodwork. And that was a clump of bodies over there inside the 18. And we're gonna get a whistle from our head official. Daniel Navarro, maybe caught up in the chaos, took a hit to the face. Here's that ball again. Yeah, Navarro just collides with the mass of players all around him. And Galindrez really tries something special there. Daniel Navarro, another player down here. It's been a physical second half, to say the least. The United Soccer League, all 12 League One clubs, and its players stand together in support of diversity, inclusivity, equality, and compassion. For more information on the USL's commitment to change through the United Against Racism campaign, visit uslsoccer.com. It's good to see Daniel Navarro back up on his feet, and he'll be walked off the pitch. We'll see if he checks back into the game here. Doing a little jog, looking all right. This game continues. Hernandez gives it to Ruiz. A couple of facilitators there giving the ball between each other. Now Villalobos. He could fire a shot here. He does so, but that one is nowhere near the target. Holiday dives just in case, but instead it's just a gift to the fans in the front row. Chattanooga fans, Coca-Cola is the exclusive soft drink of the Chattanooga Red Wolves. This one's sent forward off the goal kick. Headed around a couple times, the player is down. Here's Galindrez inside the 18, but his touch is poor as it's cleared away by Britton Fisher. Headed right back into danger though. Galindrez again. Gives it some air underneath it. Hispania has to chase it down, but he can't track it before it's a goal kick. Britton Fisher, someone who's been pretty busy here today as well. Of course, all the North Carolina FC backline and the keeper have been absolutely berated with attacks. For the W, the USL recently announced the formation of the USLW League, providing increased equity and opportunity for women looking to pursue careers in soccer both on and off the pitch. Comprised of clubs from across the championship, League One, League Two, and new expansion markets, the W League is set to begin play in 2022 in more than 30 communities across the United States. Head over to uslwleague.com to learn more. We're going to get another goal kick here for North Carolina FC. Britton Fisher getting his second start of his career here at North Carolina FC for North Carolina FC. And John Bradford said about his first performance that he did well in the game and that he did well to connect with the midfield. And he's just going to keep growing and getting better. Of course, it's just game one, so you only get better from there. Looking for Hernandez here. Alfaro's slide is unsuccessful. Hernandez. His cross is deflected into the air. Galindrez tries to get ahead on it, but Britton Fisher was also there for it. A couple of whiffs of clearances, but either way, the job gets done for North Carolina. Hernandez once again. Sends it inside, but there's nobody there for it. At least not in the location he put it. Galindrez, Ruiz, and Espana inside the 18, but not in the locations necessary. This game presses on. Hernandez. Well met there as it's deflected out for another corner kick for Chattanooga. This corner kick's brought to you by your local Ford dealer. I tell you what, these corners here at CHI Memorial Stadium are getting their works cut out, but it's all for the home side, nothing for North Carolina. Here's Jose Carrera Garcia. This one curls in. Doesn't meet anybody. It'll just bounce its way across the goal line. It'll be cleared out for a throw. Ricketts to Espana. Sends this one in. Tried to get logged back into play by Hernandez, and it comes off the stomach of Mbai and into the hands of Nicholas Holiday. He's looking for somewhere to go with it. Well, in the first half, we saw that Jumbotron quite a bit because that's where the ball was. I haven't really seen it here in the second half. We get a look at it there. This gets played back to Mora Mora. I tell you what, everyone who talks about the Jumbotron who's involved in Chattanooga is incredibly excited about it, and that includes Jimmy Obleda. And he just said it's massive and it's amazing. And he said, how can he complain when he gets to work at a place like this, CHI Memorial Stadium? He just thinks that it's all so fantastic and that it inspires him to work his heart out every single day. And he says, how can you not when you've got these guys, this city, this team, this venue? As Juan Galindrez looking to get on the score sheet here, and it goes into the side netting. Juan Galindrez, our player to watch for Chattanooga. And we've got another player down. So we take a look at this opportunity here, just trying to sneak it past Holiday, but that's a tight angle if I've ever seen one. And it's O'Farrell on the ground. bit of a cramp. He gets attended to by the trainers. Parker O'Farrell from Raleigh, North Carolina. One of the 4 players from the academy playing today. Spends his high school time at Wakefield High School and has played in North Carolina FC's youth program for 11 years. So a familiar face in Carey. Finally getting the chance to show up for the main team. Let's take a look at the Chattanooga faithful here. Once again, celebrating Father's Day and having a good time here. We're going to get another corner kick. Colin McCamey will come into the game. Colin McCamey will be coming in for Parker O'Farrell as we get this corner kick brought to you by your local Ford dealer, Jose Carrera Garcia. Gives it to Ruiz. Hernandez's ball comes in. Couple heads on it. Rick gets his shot, gets cleared off the line. Now it's Espana. Espana with the shot, hits some traffic. The follow-up goes over the crossbar. And we've got yet another collision, this time between Hernandez and the keeper, Nicholas Holliday. Opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. Somehow still level here. Nicholas Holliday, once again, 7 saves in the first half. That substitution brought to you by D1. Colin McCamey, just 18 years old, coming from Wake Forest, North Carolina. He's also committed to West Point to play his collegiate soccer. And there he is. Gonna have to come in for Parker O'Farrell, who was challenged constantly as the game wore on. And so should expect to see the sub to face the same kind of pressure for this next 20 or so minutes. Hernandez sends us forward for Galindrez. It's Juan Galindrez. He's got a shot on him. He tips it over, and he finds the back of the net. Juan Galindrez, his 3rd goal off the bench. Put that on the Jumbotron. Juan Galindrez draws it level here in Chattanooga. A cheeky little chip over the 15-year-old. And the Magic Man off of the bench has once again put himself on the score sheet for Chattanooga. Just wins the physical battle between himself and Malik Mbai, the center back. And it just goes just over the stretched arm of Nicholas Holliday, who's done so much in this game so far. But you can't stop that man. The 3rd goal of the year for Juan Galindrez. The first 2 game winners, of course, this one coming level here, but now they have the chance to find a game winner. You gotta wonder what kind of energy they bring. They've been knocking on the door the entire game. Can North Carolina find a response here? Here's Arriaga. He's got McCamey in the middle. Arriaga lays it back. And then that pass is gonna have too much heat, and they'll be glancing by Max Flick as it rolls out. And the longest stretch of the year of holding the lead for North Carolina has come to an end. Coming into this game, they only led for 28 minutes total. It was 67 minutes in this game alone, but it's level once again. And Chattanooga gotta be licking their chops. They've been knocking on the door all day, and now they can be thinking about 3 points as this one moves on. Peter Pearson giving it to Josh Cohen. North Carolina trying to find a spell of possession in the offensive half. Tries to send it forward to Simpson. It's teed back in. Here's an opportunity. The shot goes into the knees of Sebastian Mora. A little bit of a challenge there, but nothing too dangerous. But the ball's won back by North Carolina. Showing some life on the attack right now. This entire game, they've been parked on their half of the pitch. But now that it's level again, looking to push it forward. Here's Max Flick, oldest player on the field for North Carolina, 26 years old. He'll lay it out wide. Colin McCamey with the ball. Here's it for Pearson, goes wide right. This cross comes in, there's nobody there for it. Can it be collected by Cohen? Yes, it can. But then it's well poked away by Josue Espana. He quickly sends it forward for Ruiz. He's got Galindrez running. Will the flag go up? It has just now. Juan Galindrez looking to find another. But made his run just a little bit too early, as this game is getting a little more back and forth than it's been throughout the first 75.
Concessions brought to you tonight by Coca-Cola. Quench your thirst with a Coca-Cola beverage. Together, taste better. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your last call for alcohol. Once the clock hits the 80th minute, beer will no longer be available at stadium concessions.
Another free kick here. This time for North Carolina. Not a lot of set-piece chances for them. Josh Cohen will be the one to take it. That's not a bad ball going in. The header, though, just nothing but upward for Britton Fisher.
Red Wolves fans, big round of applause for yourselves. Total attendance tonight, 1,924.
As you hear the PA announcer say it, just a hair under 2,000 in attendance here at CHI Memorial Stadium here on this Sunday night. As this one gets over to the left side for Hernandez. Looking for goal number 2. Hernandez sends it inside, and it's cleared away by and by. Not too far, though. Just went upward. Now it goes forward. Simpson, one-on-one with Navarro, and Navarro's had the best of the 22-year-old Jamaican today. Here's Galindrez, and once again, he's behind the line. Maybe getting a little bit too antsy here, Juan Galindrez. Already got himself on the score sheet once today. Nicholas Holiday. Take his sweet time. Got a whistle from the official. Looks like player needs some assistance on the pitch. The trainer runs on. Jonathan Ricketts, the one on the turf, or the grass. Ricketts, one of the backs for Chattanooga, got his first goal last weekend against FC Tucson. He's also a member of the Team of the Week for his efforts over in Arizona. He gets checked up on by the trainers.
Ladies and gentlemen, Body Armor is the official sports drink of your Chattanooga Red Wolves. Upgrade your sports drink. Try Body Armor today.
And as it is every single night at Chattanooga, a wonderful subset in the mountains of Chattanooga. We also got 2 more substitution for the Red Wolves, getting themselves ready to go. Spot Ronaldo Pineda. Ronaldo Pineda coming into the game for Jimmy Villalobos. And then Jackson Dietrich coming into the game. He'll come in. Dietrich
Substitution for your Chattanooga Red Wolves.
Pineda. The substitutions brought to you by D1. Ronaldo Pineda typically gets into the game, and so does Jackson Dietrich. And it looks like Jonathan Ricketts will also make his way off the pitch after suffering an injury for Jackson Dietrich. Dietrich with his 5th appearance of the season. Once again, those substitutions brought to you by D1 as the players officially make their way onto the pitch. And this one gets teed in. Chattanooga fans, Ford is the official domestic car partner of the Chattanooga Red Wolves. And we've had our fair share of Ford corner kicks here today, and still not a single one for North Carolina FC. Max Flick looking for Simpson. Navarro will send it forward. A bit of a collision there. 2 players chasing after the ball and running into each other, and now we're going to get the whistle blown. Action away from the ball that the keeper, or that the official has to handle. And Malik Mbai down again. He's already taken a couple tumbles here today. And a busy guy here today, Malik Mbai, the 2019 ACC Defensive Player of the Year. Played at a collegiate men's soccer powerhouse, Clemson. And was the center back from 2016 to 2019 with the Tigers. So he has experience with teams that know how to win and expect big things from their starting 11. And he's come in and done a good job here today. Really, his only fault was one time he got shrugged off by Galindrez on the goal. And of course, that's a pretty critical moment. But with the sheer volume of chances that Chattanooga's created and the amount of times that Mbai has had to step in and make something happen, I think you could still say it's been a job well done from him today. He'll get himself off the pitch without any assistance. Take a look. Some discussion between the head official and Britton Fisher here. Nicholas Holiday. Maybe not as many saves as the first half, but it is still level between these two, despite the overwhelming possession that Chattanooga has held. Red Wolves, looking for a through ball for Hernandez. He had him open, just couldn't thread the needle. North Carolina trying to find something here. Looking for Thorne Simpson. Really, he's been closed off by the center backs, Jason Ramos and Daniel Navarro. They have done their job, making sure the number 9 doesn't have his way. Now Pineda with some space. Ronaldo Pineda Moves forward, fires a shot, deflected a little bit, and goes out of play. May have come off Galindrez or a member of the back line. Surmise it's Galindrez given the fact that it's a goal kick. Just grazed off his back. Ronaldo Pineda trying to get himself on the score sheet this season, hasn't scored a goal. And trying to become another one of the super substitutes on this arsenal of guys that Chattanooga have off the bench. Chattanooga fans, Body Armor is the official sports drink of the Chattanooga Red Wolves. And your Body Armor player to watch, Juan Galindrez, already has a goal to his name here today. He's been trying to sniff out a second one. A substitution coming our way for North Carolina. But right now, Chattanooga's on the prowl. Ruiz passes it inside. Galindrez tries a wonderful shot. It's saved off the line by Holiday, and the header by Hernandez couldn't get behind it. And Juan Galindrez showing off some athleticism here. This ball comes in. Just a little chip, and that's fantastic. A full 180 right there from Galindrez. And Hernandez can't get the job done. So Nelson Blanco Flores gets himself prepared to come onto the pitch for North Carolina. And he'll come in for Josh Cohen. So Nelson Blanco Flores, a defender, coming in for a more attacking-minded Josh Cohen. That substitution brought to you by D1. Nelson Blanco Flores has started in 6 games this year, so first time coming off the bench for him. And this one coming forward, Dietrich into the 18. Jackson Dietrich fires a shot, it sputters around, and it's gonna be tapped in. Juan Galindrez, second goal of the game, and his 3rd potential game winner of the season. This man loves drama. Juan Galindrez, a man for the moment. And Nicholas Holiday can only watch in despair as Chattanooga does what Chattanooga does best. Come back in games late and take the lead when it matters most. So we take a look at this one again. Good ball forward and Dietrich rips off a shot. It gets Nicholas Holiday a little bit off his feet. Just struggling around, and Galindrez flies his way in and puts that one away. He has got a nose for goal, and every game he gets in earlier and earlier and has his influence on the match. And Juan Galindrez getting a brace for the first time as a Red Wolf. He is just electric. Spent a lot of time in Columbia before making his way over to League One, and something that was said about him by Jimmy Obleda when he first made his way over, he said that he's a mixture of size, mobility, and agility that is just lethal for number 9. And we have just seen that again and again for Juan Galindrez. As we see that, also a nice little milestone for League One in general, the 50th brace. And Juan Galindrez, 4 goals to his name this season. Came into the game with only 170 minutes total. So talk about efficiency when it comes to scoring goals. He's got roughly 220 minutes now with my quick math in my head. Now the Red Wolves can just think about running the clock out of this game. They've dominated possession, but maybe they're hungry for some more here. Dietrich's got a lot of guard around him. He'll give it to his left, though. Espana Crosses it inside. Dietrich with the header, and that one will go wide right. A lot of fans thought that one went in. And Marky Hernandez and the Red Wolves are not ready to call it quits on the attack just yet, especially with 7 minutes of added time. I'll let North Carolina FC know that they're not going to let them get back into this game, at least not easily. Here's Flores. He looks to send it forward. Carrera Garcia. Here's Hernandez, taking it forward. He's got Dietrich, wide open. Dietrich comes into the 18. He winds up, passes to the middle. It's Hernandez. Hernandez with a shot, and that's the nail in the coffin. Marky Hernandez gets himself on the score sheet this season, and the Chattanooga faithful can cheer and growl in success as the Red Wolves have now put 3 on the board. And Marky Hernandez gets his first goal of the season, one of the few returnees from last year. And the Chattanooga fathers in the crowd, as well as the rest of the fans, can celebrate as the goals have finally come through after over an hour of pushing and prodding and attacking. Dietrich finds Hernandez, he shakes off Fisher, and that's a cheeky and clever little placement by Marky Hernandez. Nothing that can be done about that one if you're Nicholas Holiday. And now the statistics may more properly reflect the way this game has panned out in every other stat sheet. Every statistical category really dominated by the Red Wolves throughout this game. And now they're able to prove it where it counts. Here's Nelson Flores trying to bring it in himself. Flores gets it poked up by Ruiz. And lo and behold, it's a corner kick for North Carolina. Still got about 4 minutes left of added time here in North Carolina, getting their first corner kick of the day. Luis Arriaga will be the one to take it. Arriaga's ball comes in. That one's dealt with handily. Have to be tracked down. Here's McCamey. Harassed by Josue Espana. And you can look at that statistical category there. The Red Wolves just love the end of the game. Love when the whistle is coming. And I'll say this, Jimmy Obleda talked about how his team, the goal is to start play and get things going from the beginning whistle, but they do love getting and finding success at the other end of the 90 minutes. A player down for the Red Wolves. Josue Espana, the one on the ground. Talking to Luis Arriaga there. Credited with the assist back in the 6th minute of the game, but that goal seemed to be looming for the majority of this game. Suddenly it's not all too important anymore, as Chattanooga has opened the floodgates in the second half. This ball comes in, still there open. The shot goes off the hands of Mora, and North Carolina FC have got one back. In the chaos, they've been able to draw a goal again here. Second goal on the day. We still got 2 more minutes. Just caught in the fray. There was a lot of North Carolina players all around that ball, and they were able to poke it in. And Mora, it's right in front of him, so he couldn't really react properly.
Chattanooga Red Wolves
We take
substitution.
another peek at that one. Goes off a couple of players. That's a wonderful little volley there coming off of Moromoa's hands.
Leaving the match for the Red Wolves, number 11, Josue España.
And another substitution for Chattanooga here. This one headed on looking for Galindrez. Backheel by Britton Fisher. Going over to the right side. North Carolina on the prowl once again, but that ball is lost. Max Flick unable to collect that one. Here's Jackson Dietrich. That'll be poked out by Max Flick. See, Christian Zaragoza has come into the game for Chattanooga.
North Carolina FC substitution, entering the match, number 35,
Caden Talentino will make his way into the game for North Carolina FC.
Leading the match for North Carolina
Some
FC, number 14,
Sprite blood to come into the game at the end. Nelson Martinez will make his way off the pitch for Tolentino. Tolentino making his first appearance for North Carolina FC here. Committed to North Carolina State. A future member of the Wolfpack. That substitution brought to you by D1. How much more time do we have in this game? We had a goal, actually had 2 goals in stoppage time, a couple substitutions. So up to this point, it's up to the discretion of Joshua Belk how much time is left in this game. And that's well handled. And we'll get a free kick here for North Carolina FC. As time runs out here, not a lot left. And Chattanooga hoofs it forward, and there's the final whistle. They just love the final moments of the game. The Chattanooga Red Wolves get another win and another 3 points at home against the young North Carolina FC, and the Jumbotron can celebrate victory in its home opener. As you see the bench celebrating, you can thank the bench for all their contributions in this game. Juan Galindrez, a brace in this match, including his 3rd game winner. Just over 200 minutes this season as we look at our Sunny 92.3 man of the match, and I think that's an easy one. Galindrez is just a man for the finale. And he can score anywhere the ball gets given to him inside the 18. And every single game, Jimmy Obleda says, as he gets more acclimated to the league, he'll find himself getting more and more minutes, and well warranted for the head honcho, his 5th win of the year for the Red Wolves. As we now take a look at the save of the game coming up here. Jimmy Obleda congratulating all of his fans, or his players, excuse me. The save brought to you by Chattanooga Hotel. So we take a look at it here. This one squared into the middle. Takes a couple touches, and then Cohen, his shot's a little bit deflected. Those can be a little more tricky than maybe they look. As a keeper, you're preparing for the original trajectory of the shot, and Mora able to handle it rather calmly. And there he is, though, Juan Galindrez, the man for the moment, the man who just gets the job done time after time. League One better keep themselves worried about that guy. Chattanooga leads, or wins, 3-2 over North Carolina FC. We've got highlights coming your way as things continue here on ESPN+, as we see the rest of it roll out.
Belongs to everyone, so we built the Ford F-150 for everyone, with best-in-class available towing and payload, and an available interior work surface. It's built for America. In America, the future belongs to everyone, so we built the Ford F-150 for everyone, with an available Pro Power onboard generator and best-in-class available payload. It's built for America.
Good times, bad times, and everything in between. Your primary care doctor is with you all the way.
The day the world stopped was the day we From now on, we're everything on our plates because we've learned to savor the moments that were always there, and they never tasted this good.
Welcome back to CHI Memorial Stadium. It's a celebration once again. It's 3-2 your final score. The Red Wolves with the victory here over North Carolina FC. Look at them celebrating with their fans, celebrating Father's Day, and celebrating the opening of their 2,000 square foot Jumbotron. Now let's take a look at our play of the match, brought to you by Amigos Mexican Restaurant. As we look at it here, this was the nail in the coffin. Hernandez sets it up, and Hernandez will also be on the receiving end of it as Jackson Dietrich finds his way over. Nice little pass. Hernandez knows he's got time, spins around, and places it nice and tidy right by the right post. Nicholas Holiday can't get there in time. Now we're going to take a look at the highlights here in a moment, brought to you by CHI Memorial from the full game. Well, what a strange affair between these two, because it starts off with North Carolina FC finding it and finding the lead despite how the rest of the match would go. Cole Frame getting his first goal, a wonderful ball from Arriaga, and then he gets the finishing touch here, Cole Frame, and he can celebrate then. But as the game went on, Chattanooga pushed and pushed, trying to make something happen. And then Juan Galindrez, who else would you look for? This guy's got it. He's got the moxie, and this time he does a cheeky little chip over Nicholas Holiday to find the back of the net. He's just got that kind of spunk in front of goal that you need as a number 9. Now let's take a look at the chaos that ensued in the final moments of the game. A 7-minute stretch where we had 3 goals, starting with the game winner. Jackson Dietrich find his way down the pitch, fires a shot himself, and then none other than Juan Galindrez once again sliding in, poking it home, and getting the job done for Chattanooga. That one put them up 2-1, and that's when their efforts really were rewarded, and he can run around and bask in the fans' applause. And then you have this, the play of the match, putting it forward for Jackson Dietrich, as we just saw a moment ago, and Marky Hernandez, just being the crafty person he is, just another one of those great players off the bench. Jackson Dietrich also coming off the bench. So this Chattanooga bench is just a phenomenal group of characters who all could come in and change the flow of the game. But the game was not over quite yet. North Carolina FC, one of their few set-piece chances of the game, and Max Flick, the one able to get his foot on it, getting his first goal of the season. 26 years old, the oldest guy for North Carolina FC today, starting, actually the oldest, even after the substitutions. As we look at these final stats brought to you by SmartBank, 37 shots. That is a League One record by the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Holy smokes, talk about a barrage. And for perspective, the previous record was 28 shots. So Chattanooga just blowing that record out of the water with this full-on assault on the North Carolina back line. Talk about a brutal introduction to League One for the 15-year-old Nicholas Holiday. Can't blame him for conceding 3 of those goals here. Not to mention the previous record for shots on target, 12, and now it's 13. The stats, actually, correction, stats are not updated. 14 shots on target is the record, and that's what Chattanooga has. This is just not quite updated. 13 was the previous record, folks. So this Chattanooga attack is something else, and it was on another level here today. So that's the picture right there. The Chattanooga Red Wolves, historic barrage of Nicholas Holiday, the 15-year-old, comes to a conclusion. They weren't able to find goals early, but if you can count on one thing for the Chattanooga Red Wolves, it's that they'll find the back of the net late in the game, and they did it 3 times here. For our broadcast crew, I'm Mark Schoenster saying thank you for watching this affair until Week 12 right here on ESPN+.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.